You know, my dear friend, sometimes I laugh at how life changes when you grow old. At 40, I thought I was invincible. At 60, I thought, well, I should probably slow down a little. But now, at 80, I wake up and the first thing I check is not my phone, not the news. No, I check if all my bones are still moving in the right order. And if they do, I thank the good Lord and make myself a cup of tea. That's my victory lap nowadays. But you know what's funny? We spend so much of our lives trying to eat better, exercise more, pop vitamins like they're candy, and yet the very rooms we sleep in, the place meant for rest and healing, are sometimes working against us. And I don't mean squeaky beds or drafty windows. I'm talking about radiation, friend. Invisible, sneaky, always humming in the background, like that annoying cousin who never knows when to leave. Now don't panic. I'm not here to scare you half to death. I'm here to share the truth as I've lived it, because over the years I've made enough mistakes with these so-called harmless bedroom items to write a whole comedy show about it. And you know me, I'll sprinkle in some jokes so you don't fall asleep listening to an old man's lecture. Let's start with the one almost everyone is guilty of. The mighty cell phone, that glowing little box of wonder. We treat it like a family member. Heck, more than family sometimes. Some folks talk to Siri more than they talk to their own spouses. And where does that phone usually end up at night? Right under the pillow. I know because I used to do it too. I'd slip it under there thinking, well, if someone calls me at 2 a.m., I'll hear it. But nobody ever called me at 2 a.m. unless it was a telemarketer. And trust me, they don't need my brain sizzling for that conversation. For years, I slept with my phone beside me, charging away, glowing like a nightlight for the lonely. Then, one morning, I woke up with the strangest headache. Felt like someone had replaced my brain with a bowling ball. I blamed old age, of course. Everything strange gets blamed on old age after 70. But a doctor told me, Paul, you're practically microwaving your head every night with that thing. I laughed, but it stuck in my mind. And when I moved my phone farther away, guess what? The headaches faded. So now, my phone sleeps on the other side of the room. It's like we had a bad breakup. I said, it's not you, it's me. Well, actually, it is you. And let me tell you something, friend. Sleeping without that glow near your head is liberating. You should try it tonight. Give yourself a chance to dream in peace, instead of letting your brain play chef inside a radiation kitchen. Speaking of kitchens, let's talk about the Wi-Fi router. Now, I don't know about you, but I remember the good old days when connecting to the internet meant a loud dial-up noise that sounded like a robot choking. Back then, we only got radiation from the sun, and even then we slapped on sunscreen and kept moving. But now, people keep a Wi-Fi router in their bedrooms like it's some sacred shrine. They can't go 5 minutes without a signal. Kids these days panic more about losing Wi-Fi than losing their wallets. But here's the truth, and I learned this the hard way when I stayed at my grandson's house. His router was on the nightstand, blinking and buzzing like it was alive. I told him, son, that thing is cooking you slowly. He laughed. Oh, Grandpa, it's fine. Fine? It twitches in his sleep like a breakdancer. I'm telling you, that router was pulsing waves through the room all night. And for us older folks who already struggle to rest, that's dangerous. Radiation from Wi-Fi may not kill us instantly, but it can mess with our hearts, our sleep, even our memory. And memory, at my age, is like gold dust. I can't afford to lose any more of it. So my advice, move that router out of the bedroom. Treat it like a noisy guest. Kick it into the living room. Turn it off at night if you can. Trust me, you'll still have your precious internet in the morning, but you might just feel less groggy. And groggy mornings are bad enough when your back already sounds like popcorn. Now here comes the one that really shocked me, the one that made me feel betrayed, because it's so innocent, so harmless looking. Are you ready? The digital alarm clock. Ah, yes, that glowing little thing sitting loyally beside your bed. Red numbers, green numbers, sometimes blue. Doesn't matter. It's humming and buzzing with electromagnetic fields right by your head. When I first heard this, I said, come on now, it's a clock. It tells the time, it doesn't fry me. But then I thought back to all those mornings I woke up groggy, heavy, like I'd been hit by a truck in my sleep. And I realized it wasn't just age. It was that sneaky little zapper by my pillow. So I kicked it out. I replaced it with an old analog clock, the kind that ticks. Now, I'll admit, that tick-tock sound took some getting used to. At first, I felt like I was living inside a bomb about to go off. But then it grew on me. It's almost soothing. At least I know the only thing coming from that clock is time, not invisible waves trying to turn me into a science experiment. And let me tell you, when I moved that digital clock out, my mornings improved. I felt clearer. Not like I was 20 again, don't get me wrong, but like my brain was finally breathing fresh air at night. And that's priceless. Now, before I get carried away to the next one, let me pause right here. Friend, if you're finding this interesting, if you're nodding along thinking, oh boy, I've got that in my bedroom, then do me a favor. Hit that like button, drop a little comment, and subscribe to this channel. Not just for me, but for all the other folks out there who need to hear this. At 80, I'll be honest, I don't need fame, but I do need the joy of knowing my words are helping someone. So go on, show some love, and let's keep going together. All right, back to business. Let's talk about my old flame, the electric blanket. Oh, how I love that thing. Winters were brutal, and curling up in that warm cocoon felt like heaven. But here's the ugly truth. Those blankets emit electromagnetic radiation all night, right into your body. Imagine lying under cozy covers while your poor cells scream, hey, stop zapping us. That's what I was doing for years. One winter, I woke up with my heart racing in the middle of the night, thought I was having a heart attack. Turns out the blanket was heating me up in more ways than one. My doctor told me flat out, Paul, you're sleeping in a microwave. That was enough. I tossed it. Now I pile on quilts and wool blankets. I look like a snowman tucked into bed, but at least I'm alive. And friend, let me tell you, I'll take life over convenience any day. The next culprit, cordless phones. Now these may not be as popular anymore, but I bet some folks still have them on their nightstands. I sure did. Big chunky things with antennas like walkie-talkies. And do you know what I learned? Those cordless phones emit radiation even when they're just sitting in their base. That's right, they don't stop. They hum and pulse all night long right beside your bed. For years I thought they were harmless. Turns out I was basically spooning with a radiation tower. When I found out, I yanked mine from the bedroom so fast it probably thought I was breaking up with it. If you must keep a phone by your bed, make it a wired one. Better yet, leave it in another room. Trust me, if someone really needs you at 2 a.m., they'll bang on your window. No call is worth zapping your brain overnight. Finally, let's talk about the sneakiest of them all, smart devices. Smart lamps, smart speakers, smart TVs, they're all buzzing away with signals, day and night. I had a smart speaker once that I jokingly called my second wife. She listened to me all the time, never argued, always responded. But here's the problem. She never stopped listening, constantly connected, constantly pulsing with signals. And I don't need another wife watching me snore, thank you very much. So I unplugged her. If I want company, I'll call you friend. At least you don't beam radiation at me while I'm sleeping. Now, when you add all these up, phones, routers, clocks, blankets, cordless phones, smart gadgets, it's a wonder any of us ever wake up feeling rested. Our bedrooms have become little radiation zones. And the sad part is, most people don't even realize it. They blame age for their fatigue, their headaches, their foggy memory.
but sometimes it's just the environment we've created. So here's what I've learned. Your bedroom should be sacred, a place of peace and healing and rest. If you let all these devices invade it, you're robbing yourself of the one thing money can't buy back, your health. And at 80, health is the only currency I really care about. Friend, I want you to promise me something. Tonight, take a slow walk around your room. Look at every gadget. Ask yourself, do I really need this buzzing here all night? If the answer is no, move it, unplug it, or toss it. Create a sanctuary for yourself. You deserve sleep that heals, not sleep that drains. Because let me tell you, living long is nice, but living well is better. And if by clearing out these sneaky radiation emitters, you get even one more year of laughter, of sunshine, of coffee with me, then it's worth it. And trust me, I want plenty more years of nagging you, making you laugh, and reminding you that old age doesn't mean giving up. It means getting smarter.
Now, where was I? Ah, yes, nagging you about cleaning up that bedroom of yours. You know, friend, sometimes I think our generation was lucky in a strange way. We grew up without all these gadgets buzzing around our heads at night. Sure, we had our own dangers, like lead paint, asbestos, and seat belts that were just decorations, but at least when we went to bed, the only thing in the room humming was maybe a ceiling fan. Nowadays, bedrooms look like NASA control centers. Screens glowing, chargers blinking, Wi-Fi beaming, and don't even get me started on those smart beds that track your sleep. I don't want a mattress tattling on me. Paul only slept 5 hours and he snored. Yeah? Mind your own business, mattress. I've been snoring since Nixon was in office. But let's be serious here. When I started paying attention to what was in my bedroom, I noticed something incredible. My sleep changed. My mornings changed. It was like my whole body finally got the memo. Okay, now we can actually rest. And friend, you know what a gift that is. At 60, you're just beginning to notice how precious rest really is. At 80, I treasure it like buried gold. Because without rest, your body can't heal. Without rest, your memory slips faster, your bones ache longer, and your mood, well, let's just say even the dog avoids me when I don't sleep right. Do you remember when we used to joke in our younger days, I'll sleep when I'm dead? Ha! What nonsense. Now I say, if I don't sleep well, I'll be dead sooner. That's the truth, and it's why I'm so fired up about this. These bedroom items are silent thieves, stealing from us night after night, and I'm not letting them rob me anymore. Let me tell you a little story. About 10 years ago, I had this awful stretch of insomnia. No matter what I did, I couldn't sleep more than 2 hours at a time. I tried warm milk, boring books, even counting sheep, though after about 300 sheep, I started giving them names and backstories, so that didn't help. Finally, I went to see a sleep specialist. He looked at me and said, "Paul, what's by your bed?" I told him, phone, clock, cordless phone, Wi-Fi router. He shook his head. "You're sleeping in a storm of signals." I thought he was exaggerating, but I went home and moved everything out of the room. That night, I slept 6 hours straight. The next night, 7. And you know what? I haven't looked back since. It was like someone handed me a magic pill, but the pill was just common sense. The specialist told me something I'll never forget. Your bedroom should be as quiet electronically as it is physically. That line stuck with me, and now I live by it. My bedroom is my cave. No buzzing gadgets, no glowing lights, no little radiation waves whispering in my ear all night. Just me, my blankets, and the sound of my old knees cracking when I roll over. Now I can already hear you saying, "But Paul, how can I live without my phone by the bed? What if there's an emergency?" Listen, friend, if someone really needs you in the middle of the night, they'll find a way. Nobody's life ever depended on answering a text at 2 a.m.
And besides, isn't it better to face an emergency well-rested than half-fried from sleeping next to your phone? Trust me, you'll deal with life's problems better after a proper night's rest. And about those digital alarm clocks, I know you love yours, but let me tell you, once you switch to an analog clock, you'll feel the difference. At first, the tick-tock might drive you nuts. You'll lie there thinking, Paul has ruined my life. But after a week, it becomes this soothing little metronome. It reminds you that time is passing, yes, but in a gentle, honest way, not with radiation humming in the background. And the best part? No glare and lights shining in your face at 3 a.m. You'll actually remember what darkness feels like. And darkness, my dear, is the best medicine for sleep. Now, let me also talk a bit more about those electric blankets, because I know winter can be cruel. You think, well, Paul, I'm not going to freeze to death just to avoid a little radiation. But here's the thing. You don't need an electric blanket to stay warm. Pile on quilts. Invest in some good wool. Wear socks to bed. Heck, I wear a hat sometimes. I look ridiculous like a cartoon grandpa, but I stay warm and I stay alive. Because an electric blanket is like inviting danger under your covers. And if you think that's dramatic, well, maybe it is. But at 80, I've earned the right to be dramatic about things that keep me alive. And don't get me started on those smart devices. My grandson bought me a smart speaker once, said it would make my life easier. I told him, son, I don't need easier, I need quieter. That thing kept lighting up in the middle of the night, probably listening to me snore. I said, if you want to spy on me, at least bring popcorn. But jokes aside, those devices are like silent intruders, always on, always watching, always radiating. And you might think it's harmless, but after years of that, your body pays the price. Why risk it? Now, friend, let's talk about the bigger picture, because this isn't just about gadgets, it's about how we treat ourselves. At 60, you're at a crossroads. You can either keep ignoring these little things and wake up at 70 wondering why you feel half dead, or you can start taking your health seriously now and give yourself the gift of 10 more good years. Trust me, 10 good years is worth every small change you make. Because it's not just about living longer, it's about living with energy, with clarity, with joy. And that starts in the bedroom. Think about it. 1/3 of your life is spent in bed. That's decades, friend, decades. So why let those decades be filled with radiation and restless nights? You deserve better. Your body deserves better. And if you start making changes now, your future self will thank you. Heck, I'm your future self in a way, and I'm thanking you in advance. I'll tell you another little story. A friend of mine, Harold, he's 83 now. For years, he kept his cell phone on his nightstand, his Wi-Fi router under the bed, and his smart TV on standby all night. He used to joke, I sleep with more gadgets than my wife. But then he started having memory problems, fatigue, heart palpitations. Doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong. Finally, his daughter, she's a nurse, told him to clean up his bedroom, move the devices out, turn things off, go back to basics. Within a month, Harold was a different man, sharper, calmer, healthier. He told me, Paul, I feel 10 years younger just from turning things off. Now, if that's not proof, I don't know what is. And friend, I want that for you. I want you to wake up each morning feeling refreshed, not robbed. I want you to know the joy of a deep, healing sleep, where your body actually repairs itself instead of fighting invisible waves all night. Because at our age, healing is everything. Without it, life becomes a slow crawl. With it, life becomes a gift. So tonight, when you go to bed, think of me. Imagine me standing in the corner of your room, wagging my fingers, saying, move that phone, unplug that router, toss that blanket, ditch that clock. And I'll be laughing while I say it, because yes, it's funny to picture me as your bedtime guardian angel, but it's also serious, because these small changes could give you more years, more joy, more mornings filled with laughter. And you know me, I plan to keep nagging you for as long as I'm breathing. So do me a favor and take care of yourself. Because I don't just want you to live long, I want you to live well. I want you to have mornings where you smile at the sunrise, not groan at another headache. I want you to have nights where you dream sweetly, not toss and turn like you're dancing in your sheets. You deserve that, and it's all within your reach. So remember, 6 bedroom items: cell phones, Wi-Fi routers, digital alarm clocks, electric blankets, cordless phones, and smart devices. Kick them out of your bedroom and reclaim your rest. Because at the end of the day, the most powerful medicine isn't in a pill bottle. It's in the peace you give your body when you let it heal at night. And when you wake up tomorrow feeling just a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, I'll be here smiling, saying, "See, I told you so."